Good evening, welcome back to the channel. It's a bit breezy, so I apologise straight away if there's any wind noise. I'm out the back today. We had a comp, you might have seen the video. We had a comp on Saturday night. It's only Monday. It was terrible. We fished at Totland and it was dire. Sea conditions look pretty good though. Pretty chuffed about that. I'm on the back side of the island because I'm staying away from the Solent for a little bit. I want to try and do, let's see, hang on. That's better. Yeah, I want to try and get a couple of videos into one. Yeah, because if I blank, at least hopefully I won't blank twice in a row and I can bundle them together. Because I like to say, my fishing is not very good at the moment. I'm not doing very well. So I'm just looking forward, come out, chuck some bait in the water and see how we get on. The sun has just gone down. It's 7 o'clock. It's just gone 7 in fact. High tide is about 10:30-ish. I make it anyway. And yeah, looking forward to it. Short one, 4 hours. Not got near at 11 o'clock, just after high. Unless the fishing is out of this world. But yeah, let's get set up. I'll bring you back, run through what I've got, run through the baits, and get some bait in the water. Oh, okay, right, I've had to put the torch on, not the torch, but my sort of little floodlight, because it's quite dark and the picture quality is not very good, so I do apologise. Picture quality is not very good, and the sound's not very good because of the wind. Welcome to Frugal Outdoors. Yeah, so on this rig, I've got like a rag sausage. It's way past its best, so I've got a bunch of, I got given it on Friday. It's been in the fridge, Saturday, been in the fridge overnight, and it's honking, man. So I'm just going to chuck a big ball of that out. On that side I've got a squid and black lug wrap, try and get that so it's not quite so bright. Both on the Reaper rigs, the 2.0 pulleys. Yeah, let's chuck them out. Quite excited. So there we go, they're in. I'm super happy, man. I had a terrible session the other night, but kind of wasn't feeling it anyway. I haven't been feeling great, to be honest, but yeah, I'm excited to just do a quick short fire, like 4-hour session, and yeah, pack up, and then I'm going to do, like I said, do another one and combine them together for one video. There's only so many times I can put videos up of me not catching, or catching pout, or, you know, bream. I've had loads of bream videos lately, so hence why I'm out the back trying to get something else. Hopefully try and get something else. But we'll keep plodding along anyway. Like I said, been in there for literally like 4 minutes. Hopefully we can get a bite. The wind is howling out there. There's a big bow in the line, so hopefully we'll be able to see something. Oh, well, I've had to recast the left-hand rod already because it's been hooked up in some weed. To be expected, I guess, because this morning it was really rough out there. It's way settled now, but it's obviously stirred up a lot of weed, so I've just put the rods up a little bit higher in the hope of trying to keep it out. It should probably go closer to the sea, but if I go closer to the sea, I'm getting into the wind. There's very little wind here now. Yeah, so I'll just persist. Hopefully as the tide pushes up, I'll be able to overcast the weed. The other rod has not moved at all with the weed, but the first one just slowly pulled over. I thought it might have been a bite actually, but yeah, man. Look at that sunset behind. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, it's really nice. I've laid up. I'm gonna have to take this coat off. I'm sweltering, but hopefully we can get a fish. If not, I don't really mind. It's just nice to be out, to be honest. Okay, so I've rebaited both I've had to put the rods, I've had to put the rods a lot higher because they're getting really weeded. So hopefully this will get over it. If it doesn't, I'll move slightly close because the wind has really dropped off now. I'll move slightly closer to the sea. That will get me up a little bit as well. I've had a couple of I had a bite on the rag sausage straight away. Not straight away, 5 minutes in. Good couple of knocks. Didn't hook up. Must have been maybe a pout or something. But yeah, my plan tonight is I've got rag, I've got black lug, leftover rag, black lug, squid, and I've got crab. So one rod I'm gonna chuck out rag sausages until they're gone. The other rod I'm gonna do black lug and squid and crab and squid. Yeah, and just see what's about really. Like I say, there has been some good fish coming out of late off the back of the island, so it'd be nice to get into something. Be nice to get into something different. I've got no fish bait, so ray is probably unlikely. But yeah, just have a fish and enjoy really. So there we go. I just wanted to quickly show you what I meant when I say I'm using like a rag sausage. So basically just bound up a load of the rag. Like I say, it's half dead to be honest. It's pretty grey, it's pretty lifeless, pretty smelly. But it might pick up a hound. So yeah, so I've just bound loads together. Like I say, I'm just going to use pulleys all night tonight. I never use pulleys all night. I always jib out and always end up chucking out a 2-hook flapper. This time, if I blank, I'm going to blank with bigger baits and bigger hooks. So, like I say, I'll tag it onto another one anyway. Hopefully we can get something. But yeah, that's what's going out next. That's what I've been chucking out. Probably got another maybe 2. And then I'll be able to go on to the crab and squid wraps. Oh. I'm not sure what that was about. I reeled in, there was no weed on it that time, but something pulled it over and tripped the lead. So maybe weed was on there and it just came off as I reeled in. There's no weight. Tiniest bit of weed. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up having to move slightly forward towards the sea. It does mean it might get a bit windy for the camera. I'll have to shift everything down, but never mind. Damn it, I thought I was in then. Pulled somebody else's rig out. Gutted. I had an offer to go and fish Sandown tonight, and I turned it down because it's a Monday. And if I finish at 12, I'm not going to get home till 1. Normally I would be up for it, but I'm pretty tired after fishing on Saturday. But I'm kind of wishing maybe I should have taken them up. There's definitely some weed out there. Got the rods up a lot higher, moved really close to the sea. Yeah, so hopefully it might improve. I'm going to fish through it. You don't know if you don't try. See, I look every now and again. Ooh, it's quite difficult to see. The more right tipped rod keeps bouncing, so. But I think that's weed. But I will. Yeah, I'll keep plugging on through. Like so, I'm only going to fish till about 11 anyway, so. Yeah, I'll at least learn something. Don't fish here when it's weedy. Right, well that's a bit better. I've just reeled in and recast and there was very little weed on it that time. So I'm hoping I'm getting over the top. I'm having to whack it as far as I can, which I know probably isn't very far, but it's far enough to get over the weed now, so that's great. So now I actually feel like I'm fishing. I've used up all the rag. I don't know what the time is. I must have been fishing for an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. It's gone super quick. Yeah, I'm going to bait up a crab and squid, get that ready. I'm only using 3 rigs, let's say 3 pulleys, just rigging one up, changing one over, baiting it, and just switching it like that. So I'm only using 3 rigs tonight. But I feel like I'm fishing now, so that's a good thing. Oh man, I've just checked my phone, and I've ordered a new phone because it's absolutely knackered, as you would have known from some of my videos. I've mentioned it before. So I just went to check it, and it's switched off, and I've had a bath. So now I'm gonna have to go and get it and give you a quick show. I will go through it again to make sure, but I've got a feeling I missed it. Yeah, I had it about 2 hours into session. I think it's about 9:30ish now. It's literally like half an hour ago. But yeah, have a look. Yeah, see? I say it's switched off and gutted. It's a 50cm bass. I haven't got my scales, but I did a conversion on it, and it's come in at what did I think it was? £2.5 £3. Yeah, it's still going now. £2.13 is the conversion. Probably a bit less than that. It's not super fat, so yeah, maybe £2.5. But yeah, gutted. I can't believe it switched off. But yeah, I'm enjoying it anyway. Yeah, so I just did a conversion. I had to look online. Like I say, I haven't got my scales today. 50cm bass, £2.13. So yeah, £2.5 £3, pretty much spot on. So, but yeah, nice sized fish. It was great. It kept on swimming towards me. So as I was reeling, I was like, it's come off. And then I felt the weight again, and then it went light again. I was like, it's come off again. But yeah, cool. Super happy. I can't believe that. But yeah, anyway, so it's a really nice bite. Left hand one's going, but I've got a feeling that's got some weed on. The weed's got a bit better. But yeah, still struggling with it. I've got crab and squid on both of these at the moment. But I think that's got weed on, so I'm going to have to check it. Yeah, so I was totally wrong. Wasn't weed at all. Little strap conger, not very big at all. I don't know, £1.5 maybe. Well, at least I get some fish. Like I say, the last time I went out, it was dead, and it was quite disheartening, to be honest. And this time, I just want to come out for 4 hours, quick 4 hours, and then I'm going to try and come out again either tomorrow or Wednesday before the tides get too late. But let's chuck this one back. Yeah, I can't believe that. I only missed maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes of footage, and I didn't get the bass on, so I'm gutted. But never mind, like I say, I've had a bass, I've had a strap. I've probably got about an hour left before it's 11 o'clock, and then I am going to knock it on the head. Because like I say, I've had my fish, and I'm happy with that. I've got some food. So. I've got a whole prawn out there at the moment. Found some prawns at the bottom of the box. Yeah, so I've got some whole prawn out there. And I think still a crab and squid, maybe, or maybe a black lug and squid, I'm not sure. Let us keep tripping. There's quite a lot of surf out there, and there's still definitely some weed in the water. So, but I am gonna have to think about moving some bits and bobs in a minute. I'm not sure. High tide, like I said, was about 10:30ish, maybe 11. So I'll fish it right up to the top of the tide and then knock it on the head. But yeah, man, getting some fish, so I'm chuffed. Man. So my phone has died a death now, and the wind is definitely picking up. I've got another bait, another rig baited up and ready to go, which has got my last crab and a bit of squid. So I'll chuck that out in a minute, and then I think I'll knock it on the head. Like I say, I've had a couple of fish, so I'm pretty happy, really. And get a nice early night for a change, because I very rarely do when I go out fishing. So I'm going to change the left hand rod now. I've just cast one out on the other side, so I'll change that one, give them 20 minutes or so, and then that'll be me done. Well, I am done. As you can see, I'm in the car. So yeah, one bass, one strap. Yeah, I'm pretty chuffed about that, to be honest. Like I say, I've very rarely, if ever, fish pulleys all night. I know loads of people do, and I kind of struggle with it because I like to try and keep the confidence going, so I will revert to a small 2-hook flapper with maybe size 2s, size 1s, just to winkle out a small fish, even a pout, you know, because then it sort of keeps the interest going. But I didn't do that tonight. I feel pretty proud of myself, to be honest. Yeah, so I ended up with 2 fish, so not bad at all, and I've got some dinner. I mean, that's a nice little bass, perfect size for the table, so I'm really pleased about that. Yeah, so this is part 1, so like I say, I am going to get out again, maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Wednesday. Then the tides are going to start getting too late. High tide was 10:30 tonight, perfect. Hopefully the wind will drop off as well, because it's super windy, and if the wind drops off, then hopefully the weed will ease off a little bit as well. So happy days. So yeah, you'll in 2 seconds you'll be seeing me on another day. So see you in a sec. Cheers. Ta-da! Right, we're back, and actually the wind has dropped right off. I've literally just cast them out. I'm a bit later tonight, it's already dark. Forgot my head torch, forgot my rag last time, and I forgot my rag again, so I got no rag, and I was going to go somewhere else, but I know I can fish next to the stream, so I can wash my hands. So we're back at Brook. Pretty much the same methods as last time when I had that bass. I did go back through the footage and managed to salvage some of it. I had to run it through another program because it saved as a temporary file. But I still didn't have the bass bite on it, and when I showed it again the second time, I didn't really show it very well, so I do apologise. But yeah, so I'm going to fish with 3 pulley pennels again, just alternate through the 3. 2 2.0s and 1 3.0. So not massive. And tonight I've got no crab, so I've got the squid, black lug, and I've got mackerel. So I'll just keep rotating those baits. Tide's a lot further out tonight. It's about 8 o'clock, so I'm an hour later than I was the other night. And I've got a new phone, came early, so I'm chuffed about that. So fingers crossed, all being well, I shouldn't have too many more issues. But yeah, like I say, they've been in the water for literally like 3 minutes, so with any luck, can pull something out. Tide's on the push now. It's probably been flooding for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. Might still be a little bit late to get here, to be honest. I've had to trek right down the beach. But like I say, fortunately I've re-spooled recently, so I've got massive line on there. Yeah, and hopefully we can get into a fish or 2. Oh, sorry. I got lights everywhere tonight. Like I said, I've forgotten my my head torch, so I've got one over there shining down on my little bait station, and then obviously the one shining on the rods. But it's super still down here now. It's really nice. I think the wind's swung round, so it's still quite a strong wind, but it's quite northerly, so it's coming straight over the top. So yeah, so it's really nice. It's quite sheltered, so just need that first bite. So yeah, so as you can see, at the minute I've got my rods like really high. And that's only because the sea's it's not miles away, do you know what I mean? But it's a little bit away. So I'm trying to keep it up high to keep it away from the swell, because obviously there's going to be a bit, no matter how tight you get that line, there's going to be a little bit of droop in it. But the tide is coming up quite quick. Like I said, I've only been here like 20 minutes. As it gets in a little bit closer, I'll be able to drop them down a little bit. Because yeah, I'm getting a crook neck. But I've had a tiny little bite on both rods. Could be a pout. I mean, like I say, the big baits could be a small pout. Something small's had a little go. The better bite on the right hand one, which is mackerel. And then I just had a little tap on the squid. But it's a stunning evening for it, I've got to be honest. Like I say, it's been pretty windy the last couple of days, and it's going to get really windy at the weekend. So basically, I came out Monday, it's Wednesday now. Had bass last night and tonight before I came out on a lentil dal, so curried lentils and brown rice, nice bit of bass on the top, lovely. So there we go. That's the next bait that's going out. It's half a squid. They're quite big squid. It's got 2 black lug wrapped to it as well. Just pulled in the mackerel and it had been stripped. And I did get a couple of knocks on it just beforehand, so could be something out there. Well, there's always something out there. It's just whether you can get it or not. I really thought I was in then. I was just sat in the box watching the rod tips. And it looked like I had a slack line, so I don't know if maybe a crab maybe pulled the lead towards me or something, but I was sure I was in. But I'll give it a couple of minutes and then I'll have a look. Well, I've been fishing for probably about 2 hours, I guess. I've had a couple of knocks, but nothing serious. I keep the more white tipped rod. I don't know what's going on with that one. It's had different leads and all sorts, but it's the only one that keeps. There's the mackerel side. Keeps getting a little slack line. I reel down into it a little bit. Nothing. It's not the swell, because the swell's not budging them. And then a little slack line. I don't know if it's crabs moving it or what. And I just had a really nice little, well, I say a little knock, do you know what I mean? Just a little tap, which looks huge. I'm looking at it now on the screen. And then it comes to nothing, and that's happened a couple of times, only on the mackerel. The squid and black lug are completely untouched. So I'm going to chuck a bit of plain squid out in a minute. I want to persist with the 2, you know, fishing 2 big baits on the rods, but I get to that point where I'm thinking, oh, I just want to winkle something out. I say I'm going to fish for another couple of hours. The tide is only like halfway up. High tide is probably about 12:30 tonight. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make it till then. I've got work in the morning, but we'll keep going anyway. Like I say, hopefully we can pull something out. I did have that bass the other night, but you want to try and get something every time you go out, and it doesn't seem to be happening right now, but we'll keep trying and see what happens. Yeah, I think something might have had a go at it. I wouldn't have thought it was crab, because it's all totally clean apart from the very bottom. The bottom of it's been had off. It's very cool though. I don't know if it's picked up on camera, the back that keeps flying around. But yeah, more than likely crabs, but I'll pretend that it was a bite. I've just had a nightmare, probably 20 minutes, half an hour. I got snagged and I thought it was going to snap because it was well in there. Managed to get it out, so I was chuffed. Rebaited, recast, crack off. Couldn't believe it. It's like, okay, that's it, that's fine. You know, I gained a rig yesterday with a lead on it. Put the new clip on, rig clip, thread it all through the eyes, baited up a mackerel head, chucked it out, clipped the bailing arm back on, realised I didn't, when I pulled the line out, I didn't pull it out through the bailing arm. So I've just spent 20 minutes trying to drag it in, wrapping it around the reel, try and drag it in some more. Yeah. Not fun, but we're fishing again now. And on top of that, I think I missed a fish on the other rod because it swung around to the left, pulled it was a right old tangle, probably a conger, but at least it would have been a fish, you know, so safe and blank. So I'm going to get another rig ready and hopefully fish for another hour or so. Oh dear, well it's much quieter tonight. Yeah, not really having a sniff. A couple of small knocks early on, nothing for a little while, apart from maybe missing that fish when I was sorting the other rod out. I've got still fishing mackerel on one rod. I've been fishing mackerel on that side all night, and I've just chucked out, I've bound up 2 black lug together and put that on a pulley panel. Never done that before, but I thought I'd give it a go, you never know. But yeah, not a lot of interest tonight at the moment. I don't know what the time is, but I'd imagine I've probably only got hour max, I reckon. Tide is definitely pushing up. I might have to move the rods back in a minute, but it's quite big tides at the moment. We got there's no moon, so. But being that it's a big tide and there's no moon, you'd think there'd be a couple of fish about, but not here anyway. Wow, saved a blank, but I don't really know. Woohoo! Oh, come on. If it counts. It would count in our comps because every conger counts as a weigh-in, but I don't know, 6 ounces. Took the black lug, but at least I got fish, I suppose. I've just chucked out half a side of mackerel on one rod, and I'm just about to chuck out a whole squid, and then that's me done. So last chuck's going out now, but look at that. Tiny little thing. Pretty, but hey, let's get it back in. Right, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to knock it on the head. I'm going to pack this lot up. I think I'm probably going to make this into a 3-part now, so I'll try and get out tomorrow or Friday. And then yeah, put it all together and get it up. So yeah, until 3 seconds time for me, 2 days and editing time. I will see you shortly. Cheers. Boom, there we go. 3rd evening. It's the following week. Over a week ago since I went out to try and do the 3 sessions. As you can see, the facial hair is growing a little bit. Super windy, so I apologise straight away. I'm going to do everything I can to try and keep it out of the wind tonight. I've got a sock to go over the end of the mic and everything. It hopefully will help. But anyway, as you can see, the conditions are pretty windy, pretty blowy, pretty choppy. I really wanted to come back and do 3 sessions from the same place. Who knows, it might stir something up. I might have a horrendous session and a blank. So far I've had 2 straps and a conger in 2 sessions. 2 straps, sorry, and a bass in 2 sessions. Bass was alright. I haven't blanked, and I'm just using the same rigs again. So that's the Reaper rigs, which is the pulleys, and I'm probably going to use an up and over as well today, see if I can get a bait on the bottom. Who knows? But anyway, I need to get set up and hopefully get some bait in the water and hopefully get a fish. Okay, let's just give you a very quick show before I chuck these out. Got a nice, pretty streamlined strip of mackerel there. I'm going to chuck that out for a ray. On this side, I've got a double black lug bound together, tipped with a squid head. Like I say, both exactly the same rigs. They're both on 2.0 pulley panels with a 2.0 pennel hook. Both on 5 ounce leads. Hopefully 5 ounce will be enough. So essentially, hang on, let's quickly turn you around. Yeah, so essentially I'm going to be targeting rays, bass and cod. Anything that comes across, to be honest. I'm fishing, but I'm fishing with bigger hooks just to try and eke out a bigger fish, really. Like I say, I haven't been doing too bad, but I haven't been doing amazing, so it'd just be really nice to try and pull something out, you know, 3-4 pounds. I did have that bass on the first session of this series, which I was really pleased about. Don't get me wrong, it was amazing. But yeah, something similar to that would be great, just to show that using 2 bigger, you know, bigger hooks, bigger rigs all night actually pays off, because at the minute I'm not finding it is, but tonight will tell, I guess. 3 sessions then, big hooks. Anyway, let's lob these out. Well, they're out. But I think I've just made my first mistake anyway, straight away. When I was walking the rod back to the stand, I let too much line out in the wind, and and it's obviously gone loads, picked up some weed. Gripper's still gripping, so it should be okay. I've got a sock on the end of the phone, so I hope the sound is alright. It's going to be a tough one, I think, tonight anyway. You can see all the froth is coming up. But yeah, high tide is about 10 o'clock, it's about 6:30 now. So I'll fish it probably till about 10:30, 11 and knock it on the head. Fishing tonight with mackerel, squid, black lug, and I've got a couple of peeler crab. So I'll alternate through the bait. Basically one side is going to be squid and black lug all night, the other side mackerel and crab, and just see what we can pick up. Yeah, so I think spotting a bite tonight is going to be quite difficult, but you know, it's worth a go. The conditions look super bassy. It's just whether or not I can fight against the weed. There's already weed coming up the line. I've only been in the water for about 3 minutes, so there's definitely weed out there, but you never know. Yeah, I mean, I'm picking up loads of weed now. I can see it on the line. This could be a mistake. Well, we'll see. I'll give it half an hour, I'll give it an hour. If I have to move, I have to move. But I'm going to keep going anyway for a minute, just to see. Just had to recast because they both got weeded out. I've put the rods much higher than the rest. This wind is coming straight at me. I don't know. I feel like I just want to stick it out, whether I get weeded out or not, and just push on through. See, I mean, you can't see the rod tips. There's no way I'm going to be able. I'd have to have the camera 20 meters away. I've got them so high. But they both sit very, very differently when they're up high. When they're lower down, they sit quite similar. But now, because they're getting the whole rod to take the strain, you can see the differences. We'll see. Oh, 100%. I had something on there. Look, that was a whole squid, and the whole thing was tangled up the main line and everything. It's so hard to detect a bite. So much weed in the water, and with the surf, I kind of just reel it in on a bait change and hope there's a fish on the end of it, really. I should have spotted that one, really, because it slack lined, and I thought the weight of the weed had just tripped the lead, but then suddenly it went tight again, and I just wasn't thinking, really. By the time I pulled it in, it was just a tangled mess. And that's what's left of a whole squid, so missed that one. Right, I've had 3 casts on both rods, and I've only been here for about, I don't know, 40 minutes, maybe, probably more, but I don't know. It's totally weeded out, man. I can't keep lead. I don't want to use 6s because there's so much weed in the water anyway. It's a pointless exercise. So I'm going to try, pack up as quick as I can. I'm going to quickly scoot, because I'm on the south side of the island, scoot over to Solent side, and see if we can't make a session of it. I'll be totally out of the wind. It's going to be somewhere boring, like Norton Wall maybe. Somewhere a bit easy access, so I can just park up, get out and fish. But anyway, just pack it up and move on. There we go. We're back. This is the 4th attempt now to do a 3-day fishing adventure on the same venue. I've literally just got here. I've come down with Nick tonight. Just got here. I'm going to quickly set up the gear, quickly show you the bait. It's basically, I'm using exactly the same as I have the whole time. 3 sessions, nothing smaller than a 2.0, all pulleys and up and overs. So no multi-hook stuff, no size 2s, which is a bit of a struggle for me, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just going bigger baits, not massive baits, but bigger, in the hope of like pulling something decent out. I've got squid, I've got black lug, because you never know, and I've got mackerel, and I've got a couple of peeler crabs because there might still be a couple of hounds about. But let me get set up, give you a quick show, and then let's get some bait in the water. Right, here we go. Just quickly, before we get these in the water, just quickly show you what I've got. So, big chunk of mackerel on that one. You never know, there might be a bass around, or a ray, something might take that. And on that one we got a whole squid with 2 black lug wrapped on it, both with 5-ounce grippers, both with 2.0 specimen hook pulley pennels. But yeah, let's get these in the water. There we go. Hopefully you can see. We get a couple of knocks straight away actually. Mackerel's on the right hand side and the squid and lugs on the left. But yeah, a couple of bites on both, but could be anything. Yeah, I'm looking forward. This is the last evening of doing like a multi-session, same venue. Slightly different place today, but basically we're on brook again. Might have some weed on the right hand rod. I'm going to bring in the one on the right because I think it's got weed on it, but it also getting a few knocks, but it could just be that it's pulled the line down into the swell. I'm going to have a look anyway. It's been in the water for about 15 minutes. Oh, there we go. First fish of the session. It's only a strap conger. Moon is coming up behind you, like full big moon. Yeah, I'm going to get this chap back. He's made a right mess of my rig. I think he's been on for a little while. Probably one of the bites I saw earlier. Chuck this back, get another bait in the water, and see if we can't get something different. There we go. Gonna chuck out a whole squid now. Definitely a little bit of weed out there, but it's not too bad. Gonna drop back on that left-hand rod, so I don't know if it's been picked up by another eel. Nick's missed an eel as well, so there's definitely some straps out there. Yeah, let's keep on it. Yeah, ideally I'd like to have my rods a bit higher, but we're quite enclosed here, so there's nowhere I can have the phone to film and get the rod tips in. So I'm just having to run the risk of having a bit lower really to pick up the weed, but hey ho. Nothing else as yet. I've only been fishing for probably not even an hour yet. It's a glorious evening. I am going to have to put my coat on in a minute because it's quite chilly. As the tide's pushing up, we've got about probably at least another hour or so till high tide, and then we'll fish it another couple of hours down. So maybe like 4 or 5 hour session tonight. But I've not blanked. Nice to get something a bit better though. Oh, I literally only just cast that one out. Another strap. I don't know why I bother trying to unhook them by hand. It's so much easier with a T-bar. Anyway, 2 in. Oh, come on. There we go. Right, there we go. That's the next bait that's going out. So that's a double black lug and wrapped together, pennelled. And then yeah, that's got a hope you can see that. It's got a squid head on the bottom. It's going to be a pain to take off if it comes in untouched because it's got loads of elastic on it. Now, I can't take credit for this because this isn't my fish. Nick just pulled it out. Lovely bullhuss. I mean, it's, you know, at least a couple of pound, maybe £3 or something. I don't know, £2-3. But the teeth on it, they're wicked, aren't they? I mean, they're dogfish, but fully on steroids. Yeah, wicked. Like I say, not my fish, but it goes to show they're out there though. I'll find out what he had it on in a minute. I'm sure I just had a bite. Showing off that bullhuss, I turned around and my rod was going. Either that was just my eyes playing tricks on me. Well, it's turning out to be a pretty decent little session really. like I say, the moon is super full, which a lot of people say is never going to do you very well when there's a full moon, but we're getting a few fish. Like I say, Nick's just had that bull huss, which is pretty nice to see, on crab, so I've just chucked out some crab and squid wrap. I've only had those 2 little straps at the minute. Tide is definitely like full flow. My leads are moving slightly right to left at the minute. I've lost one as well, and that was because it moved, so I'm hoping it won't snag up too bad. But yeah, very enjoyable evening. Just keep chucking the baits out and hopefully we can get into a fish. Oh, well, this time it's my bull huss. No record breakers today. Look at that little thing. Whee! Trying to get me. Tiny little bull huss. Tell it's a bull huss. Because he's got these the little vents, look, the little nasal flaps there. Yeah. Tiny little thing. Let's chuck it straight back in. Well, I've gone through pretty much all the baits, different baits so far, so little buller, so that's quite sweet, wasn't it? A tiny little thing. Yeah, a couple of straps and a buller, but that's alright, it's keeping me busy. Still not quite high tide yet, so just chatting to Nick and he's saying it apparently it fishes a bit better on the ebb, so we'll see. So the numpty that I am, I forgot to plug my phone into the battery pack again. So I'm not sure how much I've recorded or how much I haven't. But so far I've got 3 straps and 1 tiny little bull huss. But we're still getting into some fish. Nick had that nice bull huss and he's had some straps as well. Still getting bites, not hooking them, but and I've just made a, I'll show you. That's all squid heads, all wrapped together. I don't know, maybe 6, 7 of them. They're all loose in the pack. So yeah, I've just wrapped them all together, and I'll chuck that out in a minute. Ah, there we go. Another one. Another strap. That's like 4 straps now. Just twist it. He must have been on there for a little while and twisted it all up because yeah, because the hooks literally just fell off the rig. So anyway, chuck it back in. I think I've just had a little bite there and probably another strap, but it's taking me into a snag, so I've just let a load of line off and I'll just sit on it, leave it for a few minutes and then try and have a go at it again. Yeah, gutted. There we go, got a really nice big crab and squid wrap there. Let's lob that out. Not got long really, so last couple of chucks going out in a sec. Yo! Yo! There we go, look at that. Nick's just had that one. Running ledger in nice and close. That's a lump, that, isn't it?
About 4.
You reckon?
Yeah. It's got a thick set, but
Yeah, he's right fatty. Nice, dude. Oh, mate, paid off, didn't it? Having them in. Happy days. I was just showing off a bait I was just about to chuck out, which is nothing really that great. And yeah, and then Nick just pulled that in. £4 or £5. lovely shape on it. It's like quite short, but really fat, really solid. Not like a skinny one. You know, I've had a couple of really quite thin ones lately. Well, I say lately, I've only had 3 this year, I think. But yeah, that was a lump, man. That's wicked to see. In super close, mackerel head. And I should have done the same. And maybe I would have had it, but never mind. So he gets a 4 or 5 pound bass. I get a little pout. Never mind. Right, well, I've packed one of the rods up and I'm just going to pack this one up now. That's the one that's got the mackerel head on. I've left it out for as long as I can, but it's about 11:30 now, so it's not super late. Tide's been on the ebb for about an hour, but it's you know, it's early in the week. I've got a full week's worth of work yet, so I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, three sessions, same venue, just using big baits and big rigs. So yeah, no, it's interesting to see, like I say, because I always put a 2-hook flapper out with size 2s or size 1s or something like that. Yeah, so it's really fun. Like I say, I haven't blanked the 3 sessions, same venue, slightly different spot today, but still all at Brook. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I hope you all did too. And thank you, Tarek Cruise. Check them out, Reaper rigs. Those are the pulleys that I've been using in all 3 sessions. Yeah, really well made, super sharp hooks. Like I say, I've landed fish every time, so big shout out to you. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, so it's interesting just to persist with some bigger rigs, but I will more than likely drop back to 1 big and 2 you know, and a flapper. But anyway, I do hope you enjoy it, and yeah, take care, stay safe, and maybe see you out there. Cheers.